Welcome back to the podcast, episode 2. I'm your host, Benjamin, and I still don't have a name for this podcast. So please help me out in the comments. I've been trying to come up with a name and nothing really sounded right yet. So I'm just going with podcast for now. And then hopefully in the next few episodes, I'll actually have a name and then I can edit the titles of those ones so that, it's not just podcast 1 and podcast 2. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, including fast fashion and how the fashion world is changing with designer brands, but also with digital stuff, digital clothing. I don't know. Seems pretty interesting, but we talk about that. We're also going to have some funny stories that I really want to talk about that happened in the media recently. And then we're also going to be talking about the best cities in China to live in as a foreigner, because I like talking about that kind of stuff. It's one of my jams, so that's what we're going to be talking about. But first, let's just talk about where I'm at, what's going on, what's happened the past couple weeks. I was supposed to upload last week. I know, I'm sorry. But I just didn't have... That's not true. I had the time. I didn't make the time to create this podcast last week, so now I'm doing it today. So hopefully all goes well. I'll have another one next week as well. So I'll have, that'll be episode 3, and maybe I'll have a name by then. Or maybe one of you can help me with a name. That'd be cool too. But yeah, so what's updated with me is I got offered a position as an English lecturer at a university in Hangzhou. For those of you who don't know where Hangzhou is at, it's a tier 2 city, and it's about 2 hours south by bullet train from Shanghai. So Shanghai is obviously the biggest city in China, and so it's on the east coast of China, and it's a huge city for foreigners, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It includes the apartment, and it includes a full year worth of pay, even though I have paid time off, which is great. So I have winter break and summer break and Chinese holidays all paid for. It's going to be great. And it allows me plenty of free time to work on my podcast. So that's what's going on with me. And then I'm going to be doing that in August. So for now, I'm just hanging out, working on my podcast, working at other jobs on the side, and figuring everything else out. But let's jump right in to what's going on right now. Gucci is doing this new thing where they're coming up with online fashion. There's a couple online digital worlds, which I briefly heard of years ago. One's called The Sandbox, and apparently it's a digital world you can live in, and you can create an avatar of yourself, and it's virtual reality, I believe, or augmented reality. It's one of those two. And so there's a lot going on in there, and there's a lot that you can do. But one thing that's happening with the fashion trends is that companies like Gucci, these high-end designer retailers, is that they are creating outfits that you can buy in the game, or not the game, but the digital world. You can buy in the digital world and you'll have those clothes like if you had them in real life. I've heard about this before. I remember something about digital land and buying plots of land on a digital earth. I can't remember what it was called. I don't think it was called The Sandbox. It was called something else. I can't really remember what it was called, but I remember distinctively 5 years ago, might have been even longer than that there was a company that came out and they had this idea of a digital world, because this is when VR and AR was really becoming popular. They created this digital world that you could buy plots of land in, so that technology develops so far you could actually just put on your headset or whatever it is at that point, and you would be like put in this digital world, and it would be basically a very similar version to what's going on here, but it would be better, I guess. I don't really know. To me, it just sounds like it's going to be the same thing, but online, which I don't really understand personally, because it sounds like you go there, you create your avatar. I guess you could create a different person, not yourself. You can create what you would want to look like or whatever, which is cool. But as far as the actions or the things that you can do, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be very similar to here. Like you can do stuff, go to theme parks. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about the whole concept of what it is and what you can do. If I'm completely wrong, I apologize. I didn't do a whole lot of research on this. It was more just like I've heard about this before, and I wanted to give my opinion on what I think it is and why I think it's, or what I think about it. So, these companies are creating these online outfits that you can buy in the world, the online world, and you can wear their outfits, which I think is kind of dumb. I don't know, because I would assume that when you're in this world, when you're in your character, you're in first person mode, right? So anybody who hasn't really played video games, when you're in first person mode, you can't really see yourself. I mean, you can see yourself a little bit, but it's not like reality where I can look down and I can see my shirt and my shorts and my shoes and whatever. In that world, I feel like you'd be more like a video game, like in first person video game, like a first person shooter. You can kind of see your, the forearms a little bit, your hands and stuff like that, but you can't really see other parts of your body. So I'm trying to figure out, maybe it's a different perspective. Maybe they changed it. They made the field of view like broader and you could see like your whole body, because that would make it actually be, useful, I guess. Now, the idea of this, though, I think is kind of, I don't know. I just don't understand why anyone would spend money, like I would assume a lot of money, on these Gucci clothes for a virtual world when you don't even have Gucci clothes in the real world. Maybe it's a lot less money. Maybe you can get, for instance, a Gucci polo, which is, I don't know, $700 probably, $750, something like that. Maybe you can get it for like $100. But even then, that's crazy to me. So I don't know. That's what I've been learning about. There's a few big designer brands that are doing it. I'm sure there's a lot of like consumer brands also that are doing something with this. But for now, I know more about the Gucci. And it seems like they're trying to expand their repertoire. But they're also, one other thing that I had learned is that they're trying to change their brand image for the modern woman. So, from what I've read, they are trying to create their new line that will align better with modern women and how they look, what kind of body shapes they have, but also the styles that they wear. So, for instance, they're not wearing, because most people that know about these designer brands, when they're on the runways, they can be a little ostentatious, very loud, very, very unique outfits, which can look great, but also a very select few people can pull them off because they have to have this perfect body style. They have to be, especially for like women's clothes, they have to be 6 foot and like 115 pounds, and they have to, have certain hips and waist and whatever else. So when you get to those types of things, it's a good thing that they're trying to change their fashion style to suit more modern women. And so I'm excited to see where they take this and how they decide to change their clothing. The next thing I really want to talk about is the best cities in China to live in. I know we kind of touched on this in the last episode, but I really want to talk about it. I want to talk about how living in these cities can afford you a lifestyle that you would never get in the United States. That's where I'm from. I'm from the United States, and living here is very expensive. So I'd like to talk more about how living in cities like Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Hangzhou, those can really be more affordable options for you, and you can go there, you can live your life, and also you can save money and do all your passion projects all at once. That's kind of what I'm going to be doing. So, for instance, my job is, it pays me enough to afford a decent lifestyle. I might have to budget a little bit because I chose a university job over a kindergarten. So the pay is less, but the hours are way less. And I know we talked about this in the last podcast, so I'm not going to talk too much about this. But yeah, just being able to live in a foreign country and work 15, 20 hours a week, and the rest of the time you have to do whatever you want, but within that 15, 20 hours a week, that's all the money you'll need to live and live comfortably. And you could still save a little bit. Like, I could probably save somewhere between $600 and $800 a month, maybe more, if I budget. So, I mean, if I'm saving $600 or $800 a month and I'm living comfortably and I'm only working 20 hours a week, that's pretty great, because then I can work on my podcast. I can work on my music if I want to do that. I kind of want to do some DJing while I'm in China. I do that a lot of times at night. And when I'm just hanging out, I just throw on my headphones, plug my stuff in, and I just DJ. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I would say Hangzhou is a good city. Shanghai is going to be the most expensive. Guangzhou is going to be second. And then Shenzhen third and Hangzhou fourth. So I'm choosing Hangzhou because, I mean, that's just what happened for me. That's where the job, they interviewed me and they accepted me and they offered me the position. And I was like, sure. Hours are great. Location's awesome. The school I'll be teaching at is like 40 minutes. So I have to take like a shuttle bus to classes every day, which I was like, but it's a free shuttle bus. It's 40 minutes, which sounds kind of long, but it means that the housing that I'll be staying in is right downtown Hangzhou. It's like right in all the best part of Hangzhou, which is great. I'm really excited about that. Because that means that when I'm not working, which is more, I'll be not working a lot more than I will be working, I will be able to explore, I'll upload some vlogs on the channel. I want to upload some vlog style videos of living in Hangzhou as a foreigner, my perspective on the thing, and how beautiful it is to be there. Because I love China. I think China is a great country to live in if you're a foreigner, and it has a lot to offer. The next thing I want to talk about is my fashion sense and my fashion taste. I know we just got out of fashion and we're talking about something else, but I kind of want to talk about fashion because I have so many different styles of clothing in my closet that you can't see, that I always thought that was a bad thing, because most people, they have one style, they'll be the t-shirt and jeans guy with like a denim jacket or a leather jacket, depending on the weather. Or they'll be the dress clothes guy. They'll wear, a nice pair of slacks and a dress shirt and some nice shoes, some nice white leather sneakers or something. Or they'll be like a creative type and they'll wear a lot of loud colors and be like nice loose pants. Or if you're younger, if you're more of like a Gen Z, I would say, they have a lot of like loose fit jeans and oversized sweatshirts and t-shirts and vintage clothes and corduroy hats and stuff, which is all great. The thing about me is that I could never find one that encompasses all of who I was, I just have a very eclectic taste when it comes to clothing. So I divided my style into 4 different categories. I have athleisure, I have creative casual, I have rugged and mysterious, and I have business casual. So athleisure, it's a lot of like athletic clothes. I have like my running shoes that are like some white Nikes, like low top running shoes, a lot of like shorts or joggers, the compression t-shirts. I have a windbreaker that I wear. It's like a Nike windbreaker. It's pretty nice. And then I have creative casual, which is, I have like a lot of these like really loud colored dress, like button-up shirts. I have like a maroon, I have like a lighter red, I have a couple blue ones, I have like a multicolored, like pastel colored one. And so I wear those with like flowy, they're like 3/4 length joggers kind of. So I wear those with my Nike waffles that I have they're like a light blue with like a maroon stripe. They look really cool. And they're like really loud kind of colors, which I really like when I'm in that mood. And then I have rugged and mysterious. This is what I call it. and it's a lot of like mute colors, like earth tones, like army green, like dark brown, navy blue, black, and jeans. And then I have the Thursday boot, Moto boots that I wear with it. And I have like a Robert Graham leather jacket, lambskin jacket. Sweet. It's very lightweight, looks really nice on me, fits really well, and it just makes me look really, it makes me feel cool when I wear it, which is, it's kind of the whole point of that look. And then I have business casual, which is what I wear most of the time, is business casual. It's kind of what I'm wearing right now. This is not like a dress shirt, but it's like a nice polo kind of mixture. It's got a nice collar, it looks really good. I usually wear this with slacks or a pair of linen pants. I have like a really nice pair of cream colored linen pants that I wear often. It looks really nice. But I wouldn't wear that with this shirt, but I would wear those with the creative or with the business casual. And the best part is that I can kind of blend them. A lot of times I can just blend the outfits. So I have the 4 categories just so I can separate my clothes into those 4 categories. But then I can put them, I can mix them together. I can mix the leather jacket with the creative casual button up or something, or the business casual button ups. Because I have some really nice dress shirts that look really good with a nice leather jacket over them. So I guess the thing is like, for your fashion sense, for you guys, for anyone who's listening or watching, don't let anyone define your fashion taste based on what they think you should wear. And don't assume that you only have to choose one style, because I feel like a lot of us, including myself until recently, have like this idea that fashion is you can only have one style. You have to be this person. You have to embody the rugged and mysterious look where you're wearing leather jackets and t-shirts and leather boots and jeans all the time. And I just don't think that's true. I think you should be able to wear whatever you want, whenever you want, depending on your moods, which is what I do. If I'm feeling like I really want to get creative and I really want to do some editing for my job, some social media content work, then I'll wear like a creative casual outfit. I'll wear, my nice light blue button up with those 3/4 length cropped and the waffles, and it looks really cool and casual. And I'll even switch bags because I have a few different bags depending on what I want to do. I have a black leather briefcase style shoulder strap bag, like a brief. And then I have something like this. This is more of like a creative casual bag, I'd say. It's so it's more of like one big pocket with a zip front in the middle, or in the very front, but it looks really nice. It's like a light brown. And then I have this bag. This is the one I'm currently using. It's a pretty basic, but it's a nice black leather brief bag. It's got lots of pockets. It's great for when I'm doing business, or if I'm going to meetings, because I have meetings I have to go to and I have to meet with some clients every once in a while, so I want to make sure I look professional. So yeah, that's what I'd say about fashion. Just make sure that you do or wear whatever you want to wear. Don't try to put yourself into one category, and just do the things that you, or wear the things that you want to wear, is what I'm trying to say. Men's colognes. So I'm a guy who loves to smell nice when I go places, which I'm out often. So I like to make sure that when I'm out, I smell good. Because when you smell good, you feel good. You feel more confident in yourself when you're wearing a nice cologne versus not wearing any at all. Because after a couple hours of being outside, the cologne would still smell great, whereas your body might start producing like odors and sweat. So especially in China, you sweat a lot because it gets to be pretty humid. So I would recommend, if you ever do go, just to wear cologne, because it makes you smell good. But I want to talk about the 2 that I have that I wear, off and on. Just depends on the season, depends on what I'm feeling. The first one is the Valentino Born in Roma Intense. So this one is a very, very good cologne. I would be hard pressed to find a better cologne than this one, because the smell is very good. It's very sweet. this one lasts all day, no problems. I put 3 spritzes on. I do one on my neck, I do one on my like chest, and then my shirt, and then I do one on my wrist, and I do like a touch together. So yes, Valentino, Born in Roma, Intense. Definitely recommend this one. It can be a little pricey. I think this one was $130, I believe. Which, I mean, for a good cologne is about as much as you're normally going to pay. You might be able to find it on sale. Some places like Macy's sometimes has sales during the holidays. So look around Black Friday or around Christmas time, they might have a sale on this type of stuff. But yeah, I would definitely recommend the Valentino. That's my daily. Actually, I use that one the most just because I like the smell of it. Now, the second one that I have that I use fairly often is the Versace Eros EDT. So I use the EDT because I tried the EDP, and which is the Eau de Parfum versus Eau de Toilette. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I tried. French people, I'm sorry. But the Versace Eros EDT lasts all day also, just like the Valentino one, as you would expect from, I think this one is $90, $100, something like that. They're about the same price. I think the Versace is a little bit cheaper, but it's roughly the same amount of money. But I would say that the Eau de Parfum for that one is a little bit too strong for me. But at the same time, the EDP, because I had that at one point somewhere, it's too intense, and if I use 2 spritzes even, it's just, I could smell it all day, which is, I don't really want to smell it all day. I'd rather just have it there, and then I get a whiff of it every once in a while, but just to make sure that I smell good. So yeah, I would recommend getting the Valentino Born in Roma Intense, which is this one. Plus, look at that bottle. You can't tell me that bottle isn't amazing. I mean, it's got the, I don't know, the pointed things, and it's got the nice leather label. I just thought of something else that we can talk about. How to spot if this is fake. Now, I don't know much about the Versace. I don't remember how to check if this one's fake, but I do know how to check if this one's fake. So, one thing to look out for is, first off, when you buy it, there's a box. So when you have the box, it'll have this label on it, right there. And the box should have the exact same label number. If it doesn't, that's the first red flag. Second is the color of the word Valentino. Now, as you can see here, it's a very light pink. And it's really hard to replicate because I've seen a lot of fakes where it's a lot darker. It's a darker pink. It's more of like a hot pink versus this one. So that's something to look out for. And then third, also on the label, is the cobblestone style leather strip that it's printed on. As you can see here, it's very unique. And I've seen some labels that have just like a flat leather, like just a one strip. And unfortunately, if you have something like that, it's probably fake. There are some pretty good fakes out there, and they might be as good of scent. Probably not, but just something to look out for when you're looking for these colognes, that there are fakes. So for this same thing with the Versace, make sure you find ones that are real. So do your research, find out where the bottle, like what the bottles are supposed to look like, because the last thing you want to do is spend $120 on a Valentino cologne, and then you find out that it's a fake, because then you just spent $120 on something that they probably spent $25. So definitely do your research and make sure that you're buying from reputable dealers or reputable salespeople. I would recommend going to just big companies. Macy's is a good one because they're everywhere and they have a lot of big brands. They have Dior Sauvage, they have Versace Eros, they have this one, the Valentino Born in Roma. Yeah, they have lots of different styles, a lot of different colognes. I would love to get some more and do like a whole episode just on colognes and ranking them, maybe like a ranking list. That could be fun. maybe I'll do that at some point. But for now, I just wanted to let you guys know about these two colognes and why I recommend them, because they smell amazing. I've had a lot of compliments from women about these two colognes and how they make me smell. All right, guys. Well, that's the end of this episode. I know it's still not as long as I want it to be, but I'm still trying to work things out, trying to make sure that the episodes go smoothly. I want to make sure that the audio is good. I'm trying to get a better lighting setup, because right now I can't wear my glasses because I only have one light. And so it looks like this if I put my glasses on, which not great. So I have to not wear my glasses, which is fine. It's not a big deal because I'm pretty close to the camera. But yeah, so that's all for this week. Hopefully you guys liked it. And if you did, please feel free to like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment on what you think the name of the podcast should be. And I'll see you guys next week. All right, see ya.